morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Game On. This is your Sports Morning Espresso Shot. I'm your host, Will. Here to bring you the latest and greatest going on in the sports world. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite cup of coffee. It's early. And I'm going to tell you what's on the menu today. Trench Report. New numbers are out for the NFL Trench Report. You know, I've been geeking over this last 2 weeks. Went 4-1 straight up and ATS last week. The numbers are updated. We got to take a look after a historic week for underdogs last week. 9-5 straight up. 3 underdogs of 7 points or more won outright. I haven't seen that in a long time. So what does the numbers say this week? We're going to get into that. We've got an NHL. Yes, we have a hockey system play this early in the season. I see supporting already remembers it. Curious if you guys remember what the system play is. We're going to dive into that. It is a highlight Wednesday as well. So we're going to take a look at the highlight matchups. We got NFL players being a bunch of little bitches. We gotta talk about that. I was just going to briefly go over it, and then I saw some former NFL players, dudes that I respect and that I like, but I still think they're wrong. You know, we can disagree, but I think they're being a bunch of pussies. And we got to get into that story. Plus, there was a trade. Shadir Sanders is now QB2 in Cleveland because Joe Flacco is a Bengal. So we'll get into all that. What is up, Nate, in the outfield? How are we doing? I've never heard you mention the Trench Report before. Yeah, I know. It's a new thing. It's a brand new thing I just came across today, actually. So we're going to take a look at it. I know Ryan was getting annoyed with the Trench Report, which was kind of funny when I was bringing it up on Sports Wars. It makes me want to bring it up more. But listen, I'm here to bring you guys winners. All right, that's what I'm doing. And if I find a system that's working, I'm going to talk it to death as long as that thing keeps winning. And since I've talked about it, the top plays, it's gone 11-2 straight up, 10-3 ATS over a course of 2 weeks, small sample size, but you use that in any of your contests, you're looking pretty good, like I did. And it's going to help us figure out survivors as we go through it, you know? Will didn't read the betting report, was 3-0 yesterday in NHL. Yeah, are you talking about over on betterday.com? Yeah, they went 3-0 yesterday in NHL. I completely whiffed on that one. Or are you talking elsewhere? But I know on betterday.com, they brought that up on their show yesterday, and it was great. Oh, and we also got to talk baseball. Duh, is the title of this thing. We got to talk baseball. There's a historic comeback. Speaking of historic comebacks, the most improbable home run you'll ever see came from Aaron Judge last night. I'll explain why it was the most improbable home run. But the Yankees, down 6-1, come storming back, and they survive. Now the pressure's on Toronto. Supporting saying that one, yeah. Good. I'm glad you guys, I'm glad I can bring you guys stuff that you guys will actually use and is beneficial to you. I try to only bring you guys good quality stuff that I think, hey, I like this podcast over here. I like these guys. I like this website, getting data from there. So I'm glad it's working for you guys. But yeah, they went 3-0. Makes me want to fade them. Oh my goodness, Miss Wolvenar's here. Jay Wolvenar, how are we doing this morning? It's been a while. How are you? Baseball season's over, NFL and NHL time. Yeah, but I mean, we're getting to the good stuff. I mean, we're getting to the almost to the point where we get to start betting the no triple and see how that goes in the World Series. You know what I mean? What up, Blue? How you doing? How you doing? Well, I'm glad you guys are all here with me this morning. Let's take care of some business, and then we'll get into you tell me what you want to talk about first. Hockey, baseball, NFL players being a bunch of bitches, the Trench Report. You let me know what you want to get into first. But before we do that, let me see. Ooh. Let me tell you about Dr. Gundry. How about that? Don't eat breakfast until you learn about the caloric bypass. Your breakfast is setting you up for an entire day to either gain weight or lose it. The term breakfast literally means break your fast that you started the night before. About 4 hours after you eat dinner, your body switches from nutrients we get from food to stored glycogen we have in our bodies. Once glycogen stores are depleted, typically after 8 to 12 hours of fasting, the body shifts to burning fat for energy. Fatty acids are released from fat stores where they are converted into ketone bodies through a process called ketogenesis. Then, when you eat breakfast in the morning, the body starts to cycle again. This is where the caloric bypass comes into play. Dr. Gundry, a heart surgeon in California, learned that if you break your nightly fast with something called MCTs or medium chain triglycerides, you can literally keep burning fat throughout the day and use it for energy. But there are specific types of foods that contain these MCTs. Using this breakfast breakthrough, he was able to lose 70 pounds just through diet, and he did it in his 60s. Scan the QR code or click the link in the chat to watch Dr. Gundry's eye-opening presentation. It could change the way you think about fruit forever. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's see. What do you guys want to go through? The Judge home run was nasty last night. He did the dirty on him. Yeah, he did. Hold on. Let me share this. We can pull it up there. Baseball. Let's see. Glad you're doing good, Jay Wolvenar. That Judge home run was yeah, there we go. El Captain Patriot for my survivor this week, dude. They're in the trench report. God, I don't know who to use. I only have one entry left in my $1 million one. I think you're in the same one with me, sporting the $1 million bet online one. I'm thinking of doing another nasty one, but I got to see what the numbers say. I haven't looked at it yet, but Las Vegas against Titans. They're home. I got to think they get a win this week. It's going to be a sweat. Or I could just play it safe and go with like a Denver. I still got Green Bay. I kind of don't want to use Green Bay because I want to root for the Bengals, even though there's no chance in hell they're going to win it. But I want to root for the Bengals to cause chaos because there's like 55% of the remaining people are on Green Bay, which is the smart play. We'll see. Lucky Will's a pharmacist and medical terminology is easy for ad reads. Yeah, the problem is like I stumbled through some of those because it's my tooth, dude. I can't talk as well, and I thought I'd get used to it, and it's just not happening. So, like the triglycerides, and I was like, why am I like a little hitch? I don't know if you guys could hear it, but I'm like, there's a little hitch. I'm like, I know how to say triglycerides, you know. Also, it's early, 40-ish on Green Bay, staying off of it. Is it down to 40 now? Yeah, yesterday I was looking at it was 55, but yeah, I know. I'm like, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We'll see. But glad you guys are here. Let's get into. Well, let's just get in here. I'm going to show you the Better Day thing. Okay. So if you go over to betterday.com, shout out to Scott Seidenberg for the site and podcast he created. That's bettorday.com. Sign up, become a member. It's free. You'll get stuff like this into your email every day. Yesterday they sent you hockey stuff and went 3-0. If you want, I recommend you listen to the podcast. They're usually about 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes they're like 45 minutes if it's like a Monday after a long weekend and stuff like that. You can listen to it right here, download it wherever you get your stuff. This is not a sponsor. These are just guys that I listen to. But you'll get a report like this every day of like stuff they covered on the pod. So if you don't have time to listen to it, at least you can just scroll through and read through some of these things. But the Yankees stage a historic comeback. How crazy is that? Yankees win 9-6. They were down 6-1 facing a sweep. Teams down 5 runs while facing a sweep. 0-38 all time before last night. And here's Aaron Judge's impossible home run. 99.7 mile per hour pitch, the fastest he ever has homered on. He's never hit a home run off of a 100 mile an hour fastball until last night. I mean, that's basically 100 mile. It was 1.2 feet inside, which is the furthest off the plate home run of his career. First ever home run on 99.9 mile an hour pitch that far inside pitching track era. That's crazy. And the Blue Jays' first loss when leading by 4 runs or more this season. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Well, it's hockey season now, so the one tooth is appropriate. That's true, buddy. That's true. That is true. Rams about 3%, Vegas about 2 for the counter plays. Yeah. Rams are an interesting one. I usually don't like doing the road teams, but I mean that Baltimore team is depleted, and I like the Rams more. The fact that they ended up losing that one to San Francisco last week. But tonight the Yankees are about 184 favorites. We'll take a look at the actual odds on the betting report. This is interesting. It's a bullpen day for Toronto. They use a lot of relievers the last 2 games. And now the Yankees have seen the entire Blue Jays lineups multiple times. There's a massive edge to the Yankees tonight. The pressure is on Toronto. Toronto's bats continue to be hot, though. So we'll see. Yankees are plus 185 to advance. I don't know if you do that yet. I think you wait. Wait to see if they can get through today. I know you won't get as good of odds on them, but we'll see. If they get through today, Game 5 is going to be a rematch of the pitching battle in Game 1. So you'll have Max Fried going against God, I forgot who pitched for the Blue Jays, but be interesting. Tonight we got the Phillies and the Dodgers. Dodgers looking to close out. I think Phillies avoid the sweep tonight. I think they avoid the sweep. I think that's just the value play there on the Phillies at plus whatever you can get them at. Probably getting them around plus 150. Cubbies looking to avoid the sweep too against the Brewers. I think you just take both dogs. Well, I guess the Cubbies aren't a dog. Never mind. If the Cubbies were plus money, oh man, could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Ooh, Blue likes the over. Blue likes the over. Okay. Then we've got Mariners, Tigers. Mariners looking to close out tonight against the Tigers. And the Blue Jays, Yankees. Yankees looking to stay alive. Cam Schlittler versus Jays bullpen day. Teams in a 2-0 series lead, 80-10 all time in the best of 5 under the 2-2-1 format, 31 of 34 advance. Yankees only team to come back twice, 2001 against the A's, 2017 against the Guardians. So, although some of the dogs might put up a fight today, ultimately, I mean, you should just bet on the Phillies and Brewers to advance. And technically, the Blue Jays would be a good value as well. Week 6 trench report. I want to see if I can find the actual trench report because I don't think he gives us. He just gives us a summary. Let me see if I can find the actual trench report. But I'll give you the highlights right now, and then I'll pull that up. Better Day. Pull it up in a different screen. Betterday.com. Research analyst. No, he doesn't have the full trench report up. Huh. I bet that's coming later today. That's okay. That's okay. Morning, Buku. You ready for a system play tonight? We talking Yankees taking us to Game 5. Atta baby. We got a hockey system play today, Buku. A hockey system play. But the trench report, the data this week shows in the trench report that it's the favorites. There's a lot of favorites on there this week. And listen, this makes sense. We, over the last few seasons, coming off last year specifically, it has been a massive time for favorites. Last year, we saw week in, week out, favorites just dominating the public, just collected money. I had heavy steps last week when it looked terrible for the first half of the first round of games, saying, dude, the public's never going to lose again. And then we had some comebacks by those dogs. Dogs went 9-5 last week straight up. 3 dogs of 6.5 or 7 points or more won outright. I think that hasn't happened since 2001. So, I mean, we're due to go back. If things continue like they have the last few years, it's going to go back to the favorites. We sporadically will have a random week where there'll be some upsets, but not usually back-to-back weeks. which, you know me, I usually hate taking a bunch of favorites, but that's just kind of the new NFL we're in. What's up, Shucky Tech over on the Kick Size? How you doing? How you doing? But so don't be afraid. And listen, the data, of course, should show favorites this week, because the longer we get more data throughout the season, the favorites should have the edge, because the better teams are going to start separating themselves. And now you had some teams that were dogs last week that won outright. So obviously that's going to boost their stats. So you would imagine if they've got a favorable matchup, they're going to be favorites. It's just how it is. Buku says 2 out of 3 on the ice last night. Not bad for opening day. Tell me about this system play. You want here? I'll hop into the system play because I don't know how long he got here. I don't know if he has it on here. There's an NBA model. Maybe I scrolled past it. I'll pull up the action report. Let's do that. Let's go over to action. NHL. Boom, we got a system play. So if you remember last year, I don't have the exact numbers. You're going to have to trust this. I'm going off of memory. But the system play tonight is the Kings. The two places that we are looking for the system play, and maybe Toronto is coming, is something we got to keep an eye on as well. But you want to watch teams that have a back-to-back, and that second game of a back-to-back is either in Vegas or in Colorado. The NHL is actually really trying to limit the back-to-back to Colorado just because it's a massive disadvantage. But teams on back-to-backs going to Vegas were like 5-23 straight up last year. They averaged only 2 goals per game. And it doesn't matter. I know what you're thinking. Like, well, the Kings played in LA last night. It's not that far of a trip to Vegas. Is there really that much of a disadvantage? Yes, because it has nothing to do with it being a back-to-back. What it has to do is more so is you just played a game and you get into Vegas and you want to go out. And these players go out, right? They go in, they get in late, they get in at 2 a.m. Vegas doesn't sleep. You go out, and you don't even have to go out like strip clubs and partying. No, you just want to go out and have a dinner. You go see a show, go do something. You just want to go have some fun. You're in Vegas, whatever you're doing. You end up staying late. Staying out late. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So I mean, I would look at Kings team total under. You could just take the Knights on the money line. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. You can play, if you're risky, you can play Knights on the puck line. But tonight, the Knights are facing the Kings coming off a back-to-back. And I like the play. I like it. Vikings have a bye this week. They needed a bye. Smart to take the bye after, they spent 2 weeks in Europe. It's going to be interesting to see how they come back after adjusting being back at home. Buku likes Golden Knights -1.5. He likes the puck line. Yeah, I think you do some. I think you do the money line, and I think you sprinkle a little bit, maybe do a unit on the money line, do a half unit on the puck line. That's probably how I'm going to play it tonight, but I could only look at the Golden Knights tonight. Meanwhile, we got the Maple Leafs -160 over the Canadiens, +140. Bruins, sharp money on the Bruins here. They're at +158 underdogs on the road to the Capitals -185. 77% of the money is on the Capitals in that one, but sharp action, taking the value on the dog there. And we just talked about the Kings and Golden Knights. Golden Knights are -194. Sharp money on them. Big money on the Kings at +170. 61% of the money is on the Knights. Flames, Oilers -218 favorites. Flames +185. Sharp money on the Flames. 96% of the money is on the Oilers. Ooh. I feel like you got some big favorites here. You could probably parlay a couple of those together. Let's take a look at the spread. Oh, we don't have any odds on that. Yeah, we do. Golden Knights, it looks like the puck line for the Knights +130. There's your value. Remember, if you end up liking a dog, maybe look at, the alternate puck line, right? Because you could get like the Bruins tonight at +158, sprinkle some on that. Then if you take the puck line, you're probably getting almost 3-1. If you do the alt puck line, something to look at. Let me see what the alt puck lines are, actually. Let's go over to Bet Online and see what they got. Let's go over to Bet Online. Let's see. Do they have alternate puck lines? hockey games. Those are for tomorrow. Those are all for tomorrow. Where are the alt puck lines? Maybe I don't have it this early in the season, which would be weird. Specials, no. Regular season, no. They already have NHL playoff specials. Maybe we got to click on one. So let's take a look at the Bruins here. Maybe they won't have them up till later today. I'm sure like DraftKings or something might have them up. But yeah, take a look at those alt puck lines. It's worth a little sprinkle, especially early in the season. Funky things happen. I'd rather bet on a dog early in the season than late in the season. 2 units of Vegas puck line is what Sporting's on. If that's how we're going to play it, let's play it, baby. Let's play it. Good morning, Grass Guy. Hey, Grass Guy, I'll get to your microphone thing here in a minute. Crick texted me yesterday, and I remembered I looked up some. It was easier for me to just do it on the show than try to explain it to you through an email or something. But yeah, that's what's going on in hockey. So the play today for this podcast, we're all going to ride on it. Knights puck line minus 1.5 plus 130. Let's get it. If you want to play it safe, you can play a little money line action. Just see one go in, But that is the system play. What's up, Marc-Andre Roy? He says, "Let's go Yankees." That's right. They got a good edge. They got a good advantage tonight. They're pretty big favorites too. We can take a look at that actually right now. Mariners, Tigers. Mariners looking to close out. Ooh, a noon game today. Tigers minus 118. Mariners even money. Sharp money on the Mariners that are close this series out. 57% of the money is on the Mariners. They dominated last night with a let me pull it up on this side. Mariners dominated last night with an 8-4 victory over the Tigers. Just a good win there. And we already talked about the Yankees and the Blue Jays. 9-6 win for the Yankees. Massive comeback, historic comeback. First time all season the Blue Jays have lost when being up 4 runs. Who we got on the bump today? We got Bryce Miller going, was that CJ Mize? Or is it Cameron Mize? Either way, good pitching matchup today. Little value there on the Mariners to close out. We got the Brewers and the Cubbies. Cubbies looking to avoid the sweep, minus 120 home favorites. Brewers plus 102. Sharp money on the Brewers. 71% of the overall money is on the Brew Crew. They got Priester going against Talon. I hate saying people pitchers' names. So we got that going today. We got the Blue Jays and Yankees. Yankees minus 180 home favorites. Blue Jays plus 160 on the comeback. Big money on the Yanks. 53% of the bets, 76% of the money on the Yankees. They have Schlittler going up, and he's going to go up against Blue Jays bullpen. It's a bullpen day for the Blue Jays. But Varland is going up first for the Blue Jays. And then the Phillies and the Dodgers. Dodgers looking to close out the series, end it in a sweep. Minus 174 home favorites. Blue Jays plus 150. Phillies plus 155 on the comeback. Sharp money, big money on the Phillies. 31% of the bets, 96% of the money. Look at that differential on the Phillies. I feel like the Phillies just a good value play, man. Fighting for their life to avoid a sweep. But we got a pitch matchup tonight. Yamamoto going for the Dodgers. Hasn't given up a run this postseason. Going against Aaron Nola. Ooh. Hell, I mean, if you can get the Phillies at plus 155 and you got Aaron Nola on the bump in a must-win game, that seems like value to me. So that's what we got going into the world of baseball. Okay. Let's see if I can. There we go. Blue likes the Dodgers. Okay. I'm just saying value bet. I wouldn't be shocked if the Dodgers win. Wouldn't be shocked at all. But let's get back over here real quick. I want to go back to that trench report. So here's the NFL trench report. All right, here's the NFL Trench Report. I've been talking about this a lot with you guys. We've covered it the last 2 weeks. Last week it went 4-1 straight up and against the spread with 3 dogs winning outright. Last week it was a massive week for dogs, 9-5 straight up. 3 dogs of 6.5 points or more. One outright. We haven't seen that since like 2001. So we'll see. So now the Trench Report, since we've been covering it, is 11-2 straight up, 10-3 ATS. A good little system here. Let's see what they say. We'll dive into the actual numbers more. This is just a recap of the outline, but when those numbers come out, probably tomorrow, on tomorrow's show, we'll cover it. But new data. Remember, this takes data from PFF, from ESPN's win plus minus win rate, blocking rate, and all that stuff. And then, oh God, what was the third one? Either way, another data point that they use as well. It seems to be working, but we have 2 grade A. Now, the grade A's went 2-0 last week. Last week, the only loss last week was the Cardinals. So think about that. We were one dumb mistake away from that thing going 5-0. The Cardinals, with that fumble on the half-yard line, that the guy dropped the ball before crossing it. If he doesn't drop that, they're up 28-6 with 12 minutes left in the game. It's over, and we're covering the spread, and they're winning. So I'm not mad at it too much because it really screwed up Survivor for a lot of people, which helped me. But it just shows you, it's like that's how close I think, how spot on this report is. So grade A mismatches this week, which means there's a massive advantage. Broncos -7 versus the Jets, which makes me a little nervous. Jets are 0-5. They're going to do something funky one of these weeks. But according to the report, and the report we trust, it's not this week. And then this also makes me nervous because it's my Patriots. Patriots have a massive edge over the Saints. Road favorites since 2012, road favorites of 3.5 points or of exactly 3.5 points are 56.5% against the spread, which you probably would think they aren't because there's so many different ways that you can lose that -3.5. A lot of people don't like to lay the hook there, but I feel more and more when the books leave it and they don't come down to 3 and they leave it at 3.5, they want you to take the Saints plus 3.5. But I kind of like the spot. Patriots big win obviously against the Bills, so maybe it's a letdown spot. But the Saints also got their first win of the season. I think the Patriots are a better team than the Saints overall. It's going to come down to turnovers, which is never predictable. The Patriots don't shoot themselves in the foot. They'll win this game and probably cover the spread. Think about it. Remember, the Giants against the Saints had 5 turnovers, and it wasn't. Grass Guys knows this. It wasn't just 5 turnovers. It was 5 turnovers in a row. Basically, they fumbled the ball or threw an interception every single drive of the second half. Grass Guy's mad at the Cardinals because they messed up his parlay. I just heard my new favorite song, Cover the Spread. I like it. Yeah, so in the Trench Report we trust. That's right, Mark. In the Trench Report we trust. You just got to blindly follow it, man. It's so good. It's so good. I'm going to follow it until it bites me in the ass, and even then I'll probably be like, we got to get right back up on this horse. It's going to help me win some contests. What's up, Mar? How we doing? Grade B mismatches, notable advantages. The Packers, 14-point favorites over the Bengals. Massive rest edge for them coming off a bye, and they have home field. There's going to be some of these, but you know they still end up covering. Like no one wants to lay 14 in the NFL, right? No one wants to do it. If the Trench Report didn't spit out the Packers this week, I was gonna probably look at the Bengals. Just because they've been so embarrassing the last few weeks, I was gonna look at the Bengals. Can't do it, but I mean it makes sense. Packers should win this and cover this. I mean, look at the last couple weeks that we had big favorites. You had the Lions both weeks; they covered those 10-point spreads. So I wouldn't be scared of it if the Trench Report says there is an advantage. Now, like I said, you can never account for turnovers. Grass Guy says a lot of gross games this week. Yes. Sporting says 50% of DraftKings 50K Week 5 survivors were eliminated. Yep, I feel like that was across the board for all the eliminator pools. What up, Super James? Sporting's got 5 entry left, so love it. Brenton pretending to be injured cost me my Jags Chiefs parlay. Bro just needed one more catch. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. The next one is the Commanders minus 4.5 against the Bears. Dang. I was looking at the Bears in this one, but the Trench Report says the Commanders actually have a grade B mismatch advantage. Bears are a little fugazi. Brian's going to hate that on Sports Wars. Nobody tell him. I'll break the news to him. And then the Rams have a or the 15 Rams over the Ravens, which I kind of like the Rams over the Ravens, just because that Ravens defense. I don't care if Lamar comes back. That defense is so bad. It is so bad. The top dog play of the week, according to the Trench Report, that have a grade C, just like a notable advantage, nothing crazy. Lions over the Chiefs. I was leaning towards the Lions. Someone said something interesting to me yesterday, or I was listening to something, and it makes sense. The Lions, if the Lions are laying 10, I feel more comfortable with the Lions laying 10 than the Lions catching 2.5 here. Why? Because the Lions are bullies, and the Lions cover the spread at 71, almost 71% in the Dan Campbell era. They're just bullies, and when they're big favorites, that means they're the better team, and they usually play up to par. And then when it's close like this, when it's a close spread, the Lions aren't used to playing close games. And who have the Lions really beat? Nothing too impressive. They beat up on cupcakes. We're going to figure out who they actually are. But the Chiefs, all they do is live and die in close games. So I feel like the actual advantage is with the Chiefs. So I know what the Trench Report is saying. It's just a notable advantage here. But I want to take the Lions, but I'm kind of being talked into taking the Chiefs. Because the Lions, if they don't get out to a lead and it's a dogfight, that's an advantage Kansas City, especially at Arrowhead. So it's going to be interesting. But like I said, once we get the exact numbers in the Trench Report, we can dive through this a little bit more. We do have a little bit of rushing mismatch if you guys want to keep an eye on some player props to play. So we're looking at the Rams have the number one or the run blocking edge in this week against the Ravens. They put Kyron Williams, but don't just look at him. Look at some backups too, people that come in like Blake Corum and whatnot. Bills at the Falcons could be a James Cook night. Panthers at the Panthers have a advantage over the Cowboys. And remember, Rico Dowdle, 206 yards last week, revenge game. I don't think he had 206 yards with the Cowboys all last season. Rico Dowdle, revenge game. But then the Cowboys, I don't know how this works out. Well, I guess I do know how it works out. The Cowboys also have a run advantage. So maybe you want a same game parlay, just bet all the running backs go over Panthers, Cowboys. And then the Colts at the Cardinals should be another good week for Jonathan Taylor. Oh, hey, here was that system play. Teams playing in the NHL. The exact numbers. Team playing second night of back-to-back in Vegas last 2 seasons, 4-16 straight up, 6-14 ATS. Since 2021, it's 13-25 straight up. Road teams averaging only 2 goals a game. So there you go. So we'll dive into that a little bit more. You don't have to bet them all. Leave Chiefs game alone. I know. But you know what I do like in the Chiefs game? Teasing the Lions up. Because all the Chiefs do is stay in close games. That's all they do. You can get the Lions to 8.5. I think that's going to be how I tackle that one. I think that's how I'm going to tackle that one. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Test. There we go. All right, let me tell you about Rumble. If you haven't already, make sure you download the Rumble app. It's free, simple to use, and the best way to stay connected to the content you want. Once you've got it, search for my channel. That's Game On Show or Game On Podcast, and hit the follow. That way you'll get a notification every single time I go live, and no missed shows, no extra steps. You can grab it right now using the link in the description on the pinned live chat. Download it to your phone, and you're ready to go. And if you prefer watching on the big screen, Rumble's available on all major streaming devices and smart TVs. Just search for Rumble, follow the channel, and be a part of the action. Listen, we're like about to break 22,000 here on Rumble. It's awesome. We're just growing. So you want to be a part of that. If you don't want to miss a show, download the Rumble app. Give me a follow at Game On Show. Honestly, if you just type in Game On in the search bar, I'm gonna be the first one that pops up. So give me a follow. Go download the Rumble app today. Booyah. Booyah. Okay, we're gonna get into some NFL stuff. We also got to get into NFL players being a bunch of little bitches. But my boogie just chased me around the block. Debt collectors be calling me around the clock. Is that part of the song? I can't believe Sporting said you don't have to bet them all. You're talking to a degenerate here. What do you mean? What do you mean we don't have to bet them all? What you talking about? Hey, we got to talk about a little highlights. So this is our highlight segment. Let's take a look at the game last night. Ooh, look at this. The Renegades needed a win badly after stumbling of late. And the Devils 2 weeks ago beat the Renegades for their first and only win of the season, 5-1. Renegades did improve this time, but we got a 3-3 tie. Very interesting. Let's take a look. Benny, our guy Benny, shout out Benny, gets it done in 3 sets. Benny's back, baby. Benetrex beats Ben. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ben's going to be on the show this Saturday. Damn. 6-2 and 6-0. Nicholas and Kubala over Ganaga and CRB. They win 2-0. Goshieri and Ben just continue to win. That's all they do. 6-3, 6-3 over Echeberry and Benny. And CRB and Flores get the win over Kubala and Rock. And then Goshieri and Amigarena. Goshieri back on top, man. Look at him against Echeberry and Nicholas. I told you this was going to be a good match, and it was. 6-3, 6-5. Man, what did I say on the show yesterday? I said Goshieri is going to show up. Take them to win 2-0. Take them to win 2-0. And sure enough, he did it in both matches. Could have made some nice money on that one. Probably a plus 250, them to win 2-0. Grass guy said Ben has not looked good. Yeah, he's struggling. We'll ask him about it. We'll ask him about it on Saturday. What's going on? But at least, when he's paired up with Goshieri, they got it done. But yeah, he's been struggling this year. Let's take a look at his. Yeah, he's got 3 losses on the season when he's just doing singles. So we'll have to ask him about that. It's good luck with these players. I'm just saying, every time they come on the show, they end up having a pretty good next week. So after Ben's on the show, we might want to look, and we're probably going to get good value on him since he's hasn't had a singles win yet this year. That being said, let's see. Let's take a look at today's matchup. We've got the Cyclones and the Warriors, baby. Let's go. Cyclones, Warriors. Gonna start things off with Correa and Julin taking on Jairo and El Barba. That's a sub, so I'm guessing Correa and Julin are going to be betting favorites in this one. Probably would lean that way, I guess. Inaki and Manu versus, this is our Division 1 matchup of doubles. Inaki and Manu versus Alex and Douglas. That's going to be a good match. I hate going up against Manu, but I think I give the advantage. I think I'd be betting on Alex and Douglas, especially if they're a dog. Then we got El Barbara and Robin versus Correa and Gallo. Correa and Gallo, I'd probably look their way. Inaki and Unda versus Alex and Julin. I'm going Alex and Julin on that one. It depends on the odds too, but odds will probably be releasing. They're doing a little bit different this year, probably about noon Eastern today. They'll be up. I'll show you where you can find those here in a second. Jairo versus Manny. That's going to be a fun one. Give me Jairo. Give me a Jairo. That guy breaks glass. Literally. Give me Hyro. And then Manu and Douglas, Division I singles matchup. I love that they've been ending the matches with like the Division I guys. It's great. I don't know if they purposely have done that, but I feel like the last couple of weeks, that's what we've been seeing is like either the Division I singles or the Division I doubles match is how they end it. So that's going to be a good one. I'd probably go Manu in that one. Probably go Manu. But you can find it over here at DraftKings Sportsbook. You go down Sports A to Z, right underneath hockey, which I know you guys have been clicking on hockey because it's back. You go to World Highlight League, and the odds will be posted up here a little bit later today, and you can find all those. I'll try to tweet out ones that I like. Once we see the odds, I'll tweet them out. So follow me over on the old X feed at GameOn_picks. I'll put those out tonight. Renegades, still your betting favorite to win the title. Defending champs. If you like the Cyclones get done today, maybe you snag them to win the whole thing. Get a little 3-1 action on it right now. They're playing good highlight right now. But that's what we got tonight. Cyclones versus Warriors, 5 p.m. Eastern, ESPN 3 FUBO TV, or their YouTube channel. Links to all that and their social media and their website, all that good stuff is in the description of the stream. Go check out the World Highlight League. We love us some highlight. We love us some highlight. What are you saying in the chat? Oh, Grass Guy. Real quick while I'm thinking about it. Microphones. Okay. Microphones. So what I'm thinking is, okay. What I'm thinking you want to get just a basic USB one. One, they're cheaper, they're easier to use. The only problem is sometimes like if the most simplest one that a lot of people usually end up getting is a Yeti. That was my first microphone, was Yeti. Yeti is a great microphone. Only thing is it picks up everything around you. So if you're gonna have noise in the other room next to you, people might pick it up. Now you could turn the gain down a bit and like pretty low and help out with some of that. But I mean, they're going to hear a lot of stuff. If you like pound the table, it's going to be pretty loud. If you rip a fart, people are going to hear it. So just be cautious of that. The one that Crick and I have, these ones you don't need. It depends on what you're going to be using it for and how serious and how much content you're going to be creating. These ones are great, but I mean, this mic's $400, and then you got to buy, if you get an XLR, which are better, you got to buy an interface, which is like another $150 as well. So it depends on your budget, but if it were me, I would either get a Yeti, or if you're looking to cement. So here are the Yetis right here, blue Yetis. Get them for about $90. They're great. They plug into anything real easily because they're USB. They're not XLR. But if you're looking to get a little bit nicer one that is a USB, go over to it's this one right here. You can go look at the Shure mics. That's what I have, is a Shure mic. But this one is great because it's a little bit more spendy, $141 as you can see. It's Prime Days though, you might get a deal on it. But high quality microphone. And it's USB. It's not XLR, so you don't have to go get an interface or anything like that to plug it into. You don't have a USB port? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Well, what do you have? Is it just your phone? Can you buy an adapter? Can you buy it for whatever port you have? So like I know on my Mac, I don't have a USB port, but you buy a little adapter to attach to it, then you could plug a USB into it. But either way, I would look at the USB. Unless you're looking to go with the XLR, then you're going to need an interface as well. It just depends on how much money you're looking to spend and whatnot, and how much you think you're going to use it. But I would just go with the cheaper version now. and you can always upgrade your microphone later. But I mean, you get one of these solid ones, either the Blue Yeti or that Shure there, you're probably going to be set. iPad also. Yeah, you can buy an adapter for the iPad and whatnot to be able to attach a USB-C into it or a USB into it. That's what I would recommend. Google it, dude. Also Google it. Google some articles and just say like, what are the top microphones for USB or top microphones in general? But that's how I would do it. First, figure out your setup, what you're mainly going to be using, and if you're going to be using your iPad, look up the adapters first, and then USB will probably be the easiest way for you. But yeah, if you have any other questions on that, let me know. Or if you want to shoot me or send me what you're thinking about getting once you look into it. You just got to do a little bit of research. Like I said, there's so many factors. It's like, how often do you think you're going to use it? What are you looking to use it for? How much money are you looking to spend? It all depends when you're looking to buy equipment like this. What time are we at? Oh, we're looking good. We're looking good. My fave to listen to are Shure and Rode. I got to download something. I got to download an app. Beardo was showing me. I got to download an app. Haven't done it yet. That's supposed to make my microphone sound a little bit better because I sounded we have the same microphone. I sounded so much better at Beardo's house, and apparently there's this app I got to get and adjust some settings, and then it doesn't sound bad. But Cricket and I, we were both talking about it. I'm like, dude, we don't sound bad, but like, I mean, maybe we do, but it's not the microphone's fault. But I'm like, it's just not as crisp as some other content creators, you know. And when I was at Beardo's house, it sounded a little bit more crisp, in my opinion. Shocked, I tell you. Depends on how many times I'm invited on the show. Well, I mean, I know Crick's afternoon show. He'll have you on whenever. I'll have you on the show. I don't know how often, but I'll have you on. I would just start with a basic microphone then. Just get it. A Yeti. They're good. Mess around with it. Yeah, that's true, Super James. Sound does ruin a show quicker than video. People will look past a video as long as it sounds good. Okay. NFL. Let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at the NFL lines for this week. It's Wednesday, so it's early. We might see some line movements. We had a historic upset week last week. Dogs won outright 9-5 last week. But there's some interesting matchups this week. We got the Eagles and the Giants Thursday Night Football. I don't know how you feel about this game, Grass Guy. I know that I was reading up yesterday that the Giants haven't won at home against the Eagles since like 2007. I think the last quarterbacks to do it for the Giants was Eli Manning over Donovan McNabb. That's wild. But they're 11. The Eagles playing on the road against the Giants are 11-0 straight up, and they're like the last 11 matches. From what I was reading on the action report. Let's see if I can find that actually. We'll get into more of those tomorrow, of course. Action, NFL, betting report. For just the third time in the last decade, three underdogs of over a TD won outright in a single week. That's crazy. Since 2000, there have only been 3 weeks before week 10, which 3+ underdogs over a TV won outright. That is crazy. Which I expect the favorites to bounce back this week. The NFC is dominating the AFC this year, by the way. Through 5 weeks, the NFC is 18-9 ATS in its 27 games versus ASC. This is the second best for either conference through 5 games in the wild card era since 1990. We have 6 NFC versus AFC matchups this week: Lions, Chiefs, Rams, Ravens, Saints, Patriots, Packers, Bengals, Seahawks, Jags, Falcons, Bills. Do with that what you will. Is it the earliest with no undefeated? It's probably pretty close. Week of the bounce back. Eagles lost, Chiefs lost, Bills lost, even the Ravens lost, even though they are without Lamar. In the last 15 years, we have not seen a week where 4 teams with win totals of 11 or higher all lost outright until last week. That is crazy. Continue to watch this. I'm going to keep an eye on this week. This has been the worst week for the public bettor, or worst year for the public bettors. Teams with 60% or more of the tickets this season, so not money, tickets, just tickets, are 13 and 30 ATS through 5 weeks. In the last 2 seasons, teams with 60+% of the tickets went 30, 57, and 1, which is 35% in the first 5 weeks of the year. Teams with 70% or more of the tickets on them. Now remember, it's tickets, not the money. Okay. They're 3 and 13 ATS, including 0 and 7 ATS when those teams are at home. That is shocking. That is shocking. Only 2 QBs are 3-0 against the spread or better as a favorite this season. That's Daniel Jones and Jared Goff. As above a 4-point favorite on the road, Sean McVay and the Rams are 16-0 straight up. Home teams off a bye. Be careful of this. Home teams off a bye are 109 and 138 and 9, 44% dating back to 2011. But let's take a look at that Eagles one. I was going to tell you, what was it? The under in the Giants-Eagles series has trended 10-4 in their last 14 meetings, dating back to 2018, including 3 straight unders and 5 of the last 6 going under. So maybe we look at the under tomorrow night. Oh, this was the stat. Sorry, it was prime time. The Eagles have faced the Giants in prime time 11 times dating back to 2009. Philly is 11-0 straight up, 8-3 against the spread in those games. The under is 8-3 as well. 11-0 straight up in prime time. The last Giants QB to win a primetime game against the Eagles was Eli Manning against Donovan McNabb, November 2008. Gross. Home teams on Thursday are under 500, which is the Giants. In 6 of the last seasons, overall, they're 49-6-1 ATS since 2019, 44-54-1 ATS at home at night in that span. That is crazy. So there's just some of those stats for you that I was looking at over on Action. Everything points to the Eagles, but I got a weird feeling about the Giants covering. But I think the Eagles win. What up, Mastering? How we doing? How we doing? Oh, look at that. Super James found a link for you. I get cautious by clicking on it. It said Amazon, but I get cautious clicking on it because Super James likes to troll a little bit. He's a jokester. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, this is a great one. Absolutely. A little bit spendier, but you pay for what you get. All right, Broncos Jets. This one, Trench Report, number 1 matchup. Glad you're doing good, Mastering. Glad you're doing good. You're crushing it. It is XLR though. Yeah, you have to get an interface too. Then, glad you're crushing it over on Pickaxe, man. That is awesome. Broncos though, this is in London. 7.5-point favorite. Sharp money on the Broncos. Remember what we were just talking about. 60% of the tickets. So 60% of the tickets are on the Eagles here, which makes me nervous. 60% of the tickets are on the Jets to cover here. So, I mean, it makes me kind of like the Broncos even more. Patriots, 3-point favorites against the Saints. Big money on the Patriots, but 61% of the tickets on the Patriots. We got to be cautious there. Cowboys, Panthers. Cowboys, 3-point favorites on the road to the Panthers. Cowboys need a win here. Both teams have massive run advantages against each other. So both these teams' defenses suck at stopping the run. So maybe I'm just look at some of the running backs to go over the rushing props. Some say he's a master. Sharp money, big money. I haven't trolled in the last hour, so I guess I'm due. That's right. Sharp money, big money on the Cowboys in this one. 65% of the bet, 77% of the money on them. God, that makes me nervous. The Cowboys there, 65. Like I said, don't wait till we get game day. Wait till Sunday, then look at the actual. And don't just look at one. You can go to other places like pregame and stuff like that to see like what are the actual tickets. Obviously, there'll be more tickets on it come Sunday than today. Chargers are 4-point favorites on the road against the Dolphins. Big money on the Chargers. I don't know how you can trust the Chargers with what they're doing. They just, Joe Alt's out. They have line issues, and then they just demoted their center, who is a captain. They benched him, and they're putting someone else in there. Not great, but the Dolphins stink. Seahawks at the Jags. Sharp money on the Seahawks. Jags laying 1.5 at home. Big money on the Jags. 77% of the bet, 68% of the money on the Seahawks there. Browns, Steelers laying 5.5. Browns, sharp money on them. Big money on the Steelers. 63% of the bets, 90% of the money. This one I feel like is going to be the upset of the week. I've seen so many people pick the Steelers in like contests, talk about how they like the Steelers here. I don't love the Browns, but I don't know if I trust the Steelers to cover this one. So if I'm looking for an upset, I might bet the Browns as a dog here. It's a terrible spot for them. They're coming back from London, and Dylan Gabriel's second start, which is now going to be on the road again. So back-to-back road games for him. I don't know, man. But do you trust the Steelers defense to stop the run? They haven't done it all season. Judkins has been running well for the Browns. I could see the Browns pulling off the upset in this one, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I'm gonna think on it a little bit. Let's see. Ravens minus 7.5 point favorites. Remember, Sean McVay, Rams. When they're 4-point road favorites or more, they're 16-0 straight up. If you're looking for a survivor pick. Sharp money and big money on the Rams in this one. I could only look at the Rams here. I don't even care if Lamar's back. They're saying Lamar might not be back. This line is telling me Lamar's not back. They're saying Lamar might be out a couple of weeks. I think they have a bye coming up too. Cardinals and the Colts. Colts 6.5 point home favorites over the Cardinals. Sharp money and big money like the Colts to cover this one. 85% of the money is on the Colts so far. Interesting. That one I don't know, man. Embarrassing performance for the Cardinals last week. They might just be that bad. Colts are looking red hot. My gut tells me I got to look at the dog here, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Grass guy says Rams by 30. There we go. Titans and the Raiders. Raiders minus 4.5 point home favorite. Sharp money on the Titans. Big money on the Raiders. Tickets are split, but 71% of the money is on the Raiders. I'm thinking about the Raiders for Survivor. They've got to get it done here at home, dude. They can't be that bad. I mean, think about it. I mean, the Titans got a win last week, but that was the flukiest of flukes I've ever seen. Flukiest of flukes. The Raiders can't be that bad, can they? They just might be. They just might be. Niners at the Bucks. I think I'm just going to sit back and watch this game. It's going to be fun. I don't know what we're getting. We do have the Niners getting I think they're getting Pearsall back and Jennings. And then in a couple more weeks they'll get Kittle back. So they are getting healthier. Bucks just keep doing it though. Bucks just keep doing it. I don't know if you want to step in front of that Buck train, but at some point it's going to crash and burn. But I don't know if it's this week. Bucks 3-point favorite, sharp money on them, big money in action. Our expert likes the Niners. 54% of the bets, 70% of the money on San Francisco. I might just sit back and watch and enjoy it. But let's be honest, I'm a degenerate. I'll have some action on it somehow. Maybe player props. Bengals, Packers. Packers are laying 14. Sharp money on the Packers. 57% of the overall money, though, is taking the points with the Bengals. Trench report says take Packers. That's a gross number to lay, dude. That is a gross number to lay. Lions, Chiefs. Chiefs 2.5-point favorites over the Lions. Sharp money on the Chiefs. Big money on the Lions here. 90% of the money's on the Lions. Oh boy. I think I'm just going to tease the Lions up. That'll be our Sunday night football game. Then we got the Bills. We got 2 Monday night football games. Bills, Falcons. Bills 4.5-point road favorite. Sharp money on the Bills. Action Network expert likes the Falcons. 84% of the money's on the Bills. Remember the Trench Report, Bills have a running advantage in this one. So James Cook props. Be probably a good time to use James Cook. Josh Allen over his rushing yards. It's a big game for the Bills. Not because they're playing the Falcons, but they're coming off a loss. They want to right this ship. So I would expect a big Josh Allen game here. Could get ugly. If you like the Bills, I would even consider laddering them out. Could get ugly. So we will see. Bears and Commanders. Commanders minus 4.5-point home favorites is your second Monday night football game. Big money on the Commanders. 51% of the money is taking the points with the Bears. But remember, the Trench Report said that the Commanders a good matchup against the Bears here. Bears might be a little fugazi. We'll see. Bears coming off a bye. Going on the road, taking on Jaden Daniels, the Commanders. They're getting a little bit healthier. It's going to be a fun matchup. Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. Going to be a fun matchup. Grass Guy says Bills haven't beaten anybody. Bad spot for them. It could be. It could be a bad spot for the Bills. Maybe they are a little fake. I said this yesterday. The Bills and the Patriots, that game was interesting because maybe those two teams aren't as good as we think because they really haven't. They have two of the easiest schedules in the league. Hell, the Bills only play out of the Eastern time zone once this season. Mighty Makers on the 2G tonight. 2G tonight? What are we talking about? 2 games tonight? Which 2 are you talking about? We'll see. But that's the NFL. Just a little preview on a Wednesday here. We'll be following the action all week long. Come give the show a follow. Smash the like button if you're watching this video. And catch us every morning, 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on Rumble. Game On Show on Rumble. Over on the YouTubes at GameOn_picks. I clip that one out. Fugazi, Awazi, and a woozy.
It's all a Fugazi. You know what a Fugazi is?
No, Fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, Fugazi. It's a Wazi. It's a woozy. It's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
The Buffalo Fugazis. I like that. I have listen. I'm going to get into. I have a story here for you guys about we'll cover it, but I think I'm going to save most of it for tomorrow because I'm going to have Crick on with me tomorrow. I think it'll be better. I'll give you my initial reaction, but I think it will be better with having Crick here and just bouncing ideas off of him. But first, before we get into that, let me tell you about some awesome coolers. All right, outdoor crew, if you're into fishing, camping, and getting off the grid, meet your new best friend, the Hunting Orange 25-quart cooler from Caddy Sports. This isn't your average cooler. It's roto-modeled for max durability, bear-proof, and 20% lighter than the other brands. So it's easy to haul whether you're deep in the backcountry or just setting up on the dock. You'll get up to 3 days of ice retention thanks to the thick, high-performance insulation. That means cold drinks, fresh food, and fewer ice runs. Whether you're chasing muttons offshore or posted up at a campsite. Best part, it's 40 to 50% cheaper than the big name coolers, but still built to perform season after season. And like all Caddy Sports name brand gear, it's proudly made in the USA. Use the code RUMBLE at checkout for 10% off your order today. That's caddysports.com. Go grab the Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler and keep your next adventure ice cold. Those look sweet. So what I was going to talk about is, listen to this. So, the Cardinals are fining head coach Jonathan Gannon $100,000 for a sideline altercation with running back DeMarcado. who dropped the ball before crossing goal line Sunday on what would have been a 72-yard touchdown run. There'll be no further discipline for Gannon. This is just absolutely ridiculous. The league has gotten so soft, dude. The league has gotten so soft. The running back deserved to get his ass chewed out. And he was just hitting him in hitting his chest, man. It wasn't like he was slapping him upside the head or anything like that. We haven't seen a coach be fined for something like this since Bruce Arians slapped one of his players upside the head, upside of the helmet. He got fined $50,000, thinking 22. But I mean, it's just that dude, that running back. I don't care how much he's bitching and crying and sad on the sideline. He deserved to get his ass chewed by his coach because his coach knew how important that touchdown was, and that cost him the game. Now, granted, other crazy, ridiculous things had to happen for them to lose that game, but that really did cost him the game because if he doesn't make that mistake and he crosses the goal line, they're up 28-6, 12 minutes left. It's game over. They're not coming back from that. But we had this over here from freaking Chris Long, and I don't know who else it is, but Greenlight podcast from Chris Long. Coaches shouldn't be putting their hands on players. I mean, it wasn't like he was throwing the dude around, but I just think these players are so soft in the society that we live, or the society that we live in today.
First off, I'm a fan of John Gannon. Brother, you can't do that.
Yeah, it can't.
And I know there's some fans out there, like there's a lot of fans that are like, well, toughen up and all this shit because like their little league coach pushed them or something. But bro, this is like a grown man game.
Yeah, we're all grown.
Don't fuck.
Yeah, you're a grown man. So when you fuck up, you should get your ass chewed out, all right? And you should be able to take it like a man. And like I said, he hits him in the shoulder pads, dude. He gets in his face, chews him out. Rightfully so.
Fucking put your hands on me.
Because the issue is like what that is, it's just like in the moment.
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope.
Because then what if DeMarcado
turned and he jabs Gannon and it just drops him?
Because Gannon pushed him hard.
I mean, yeah, what he's saying here, Gannon pushed him hard. He pushed you, dude. You're a player. You fucked up. All right? Player's not going to swing back on a coach. And when he does, his ass is kicked off the team. You know what I mean? Now, if Gannon was just sitting there repeatedly hitting him in the head, yeah, that's a no-no, dude. But he pushed him, hits him in the shoulder pads. I mean, he gets hit harder in the shoulder pads on the field than he does from what Gannon could do there. I think these guys are just soft, in my opinion. And like I said, I respect Chris Long. I was never an NFL player. I just think, like, what, you can't handle getting your ass chewed out? We're gonna start fining coaches for chewing out their players? What are we doing? The other coaches should pitch in. Let's see what you guys are saying about this. The pussy league, that's awful. That's why I don't fuck with the NFL. The other coaches should pitch in and pay the stupid fine. The owner should step. Well, no, it was the ownership that fined them. It wasn't even the NFL. It was Cardinals ownership. That's just ridiculous. $100,000, really? Oh, from the other teams? Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think? Sounds like you guys are on the same page as me. Ain't a slippery slope. That was the way 80 years ago. That's what I'm saying, man. It's not like it'd be one thing if he's just like hitting him in the head, or grabbing helmets and throwing it at him, or grabbing things and throwing. That's not okay. But to get in his face and chew his ass out and push him around a little bit, it's football, baby. We're in the moment. And I bet you that guy does not drop the ball ever again before crossing the goal line. I bet you walks it right over to the ref every single time going forward. Yeah, I just thought that was silly. There's some other news that we got for you, some fun little things here. Dude, check this out. How cool is this? Last night, Jai-Alai hit his 61st home run of the season. It was caught by a fan wearing a shirt that reads, "Dump 61 here."
I'm still blown away by the fan catching that.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Watch this. That was the home run. He hit his home run right here. It bounced perfectly up for this guy to catch it. And look,
by the way,
his shirt says "Dump 61 here." Jai-Alai put it where it needed to be. Look how excited everyone is for this dude. And then he takes his shirt off, right? He takes his shirt off. Where's it at? He's got "Dump 62 here." That is a legit fan, dude. That is awesome. That is awesome. He got to meet Cal Riley after the game. They took a picture. Cal Riley signed a bat for him and whatnot. How cool is that? And that was in Detroit too. So that fan traveled a long way to go see his Mariners get a win last night. To go see his Mariners get a win. Not sure if we're old enough to remember when Spruill beat up Carlissimo for getting chewed out. No, it sounds familiar, but I don't remember that one. Yeah, Mark, that is crazy, isn't it? I love that he had dump 62 here as well. He was ready in case the 61 didn't get to him. What are the odds? I don't know, but I would have bet on it. I would have put $1 on it at least. Oh, this is funny. Did you see this? What kind of culture is Dan Lanning running at Oregon? Unacceptable behavior. You see this? Oregon quarterback just punching people. I thought that was hilarious. If you guys haven't seen, it's over on Hulu. The Chad Power show. I watched the first 2 episodes with Beardo. This is from that show. This isn't real, obviously. But I just thought it was funny. What kind of culture is Dan Lanning running at Oregon? Yeah, no, it's part of a TV show. It's actually pretty good. It's just a dumb comedy. So look at this. Jim Harbaugh has confirmed that the team plans on benching team captain center Bradley Bozeman. Veteran Andre James will be set to take his first start for the team this season on the road against the Dolphins. Dude, I don't know what's going on with the Chargers offensive line, but they are just... I can't trust the Chargers, man. I want to take them against the Dolphins because the Dolphins stink, but man. When can we expect the Uncensored Farmers channel to start back up? Soon. Always soon. I do have a topic I want to get into. I might be able to make it work Friday. But I do want to start putting more content on there. Even if I'm not able to do live streams, I might just dive in by starting making videos. Quick little 5 to 15 minute videos. Because sometimes, man, carving out, because how much of time I carve out with sports in this show, like trying to find another live stream to work in the day is so tough with my schedule. But when I do, Mastering, you'll know. I'll tag you on X when I post it and share it. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the Chargers here. So there's rumors that John Mateer was going to try to come back this week and play against Texas, but his coach shot that down real quick. He says John Mateer is doing no good on good work. So it's Michael and Witt right now. If something changes, I'll let you know. But I think if you're going to play, you've got to do good on good. It's a weird way to say, hey, he's trying to come back, but he doesn't look good in practice right now, and we're not going to play him if he doesn't look good. We're not just going to put him out there because his name's John Mateer. Sorry if I missed it. What up, Arlacost? Sorry if I missed it, but I need to hear more about your thoughts reflected in the title of this podcast. Oh. Well, I mean, this was I created it yesterday. Before the game even started, because I mean, teams that are up 2-0 in a series, in a 5-game series since, what was the stat? Let me see. What was the stat? Teams that take a 2-0 series lead in a 5-game series all time are 80-10. 80-10. And then last night, it looked like they were cooked and done. Now, today, I do think they have a good advantage today because they are pitching Cam Schlittler, and it's a bullpen day for the Blue Jays. So they deserve to be massive home favorites today. But then they got to go back on the road and win it. Even if they get past the Blue Jays, I don't think they can keep it up. I don't know. Yankees are done. Historically, it says they're done. Toronto's winning this one. And they looked done last night. That was an impressive comeback, a very impressive comeback. Their bats finally woke up. But that's what I meant by it. But it was just me. It's mainly just me trying to get your guys' attention. And I'm glad it worked. The Yankees are done, says Grass Guy. Grass Guy's put a fork in them. He says they're done. They're done. What was some of the other news? Oh, we got to talk about Jerry Jones, too. I'll save that for tomorrow with cricket as well. Jerry Jones got fined $250,000 for flipping off a fan. Yeah, and Jerry tried to say, I thought I was giving a thumbs up. He flips off the fan. I don't know if you guys saw it. Here I have it. No, I don't think I have it right here. I'll find it for tomorrow. He flipped off a fan and pointed to the fan afterwards. It was pretty funny. I thought this was funny.
I think the NFL scripted. You think I really would have played along with the script that had me losing to Peyton's little brother Eli twice in the Super Bowl?
But you won't.
That's the best argument I've ever heard of the NFL not being scripted. Tom Brady would have not agreed to lose to Eli Manning twice in Super Bowl, and then they show like all the people making fun of him for losing to Eli those 2 times. His excuse is that his fingers are dyslexic. That's funny. Oh, Marc-Andre Roy said, whoa. Hey, now. Hey, I'm giving you his history, man. Yankees, maybe they can do history. We'll see. I will say, if we get to Game 5, it's going to be interesting to see that pitching matchup again. I'm not betting either way on it. And then we briefly talk about it, but the Browns are trading QB Joe Flacco and a 6th-round pick to the Bengals for a 5th-round pick. Apparently, the Bengals didn't even consider calling New York for one of their guys. I said this on Sports Wars. I've said it multiple times. I don't think it matters who you put there at quarterback. The issue with the Bengals is offensive line. Joe Flacco isn't going to fix anything. But, hey, I mean, worth a shot, though, right? How do you if healthy Joe Burrow can't run around behind that offensive line, how do you think a 41-year-old Joe Flacco is going to do back there? He's going to get beat up. This is elder abuse that the Bengals are doing here. Trump administration should put the Bengals organization under investigation for elder abuse. It's going to get ugly. Blue likes the over. You miss the Rivera days. Yeah, they need someone that can block. That's what they need. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Oh, saw that. Nope, I didn't. Oh, let's watch this play again. This was the coolest thing I got from the game this weekend. Yes! What a catch, man. What a catch. Beardo cheering in the background there. What a catch. All right. Another great show, guys. Another great show. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Cricket will be joining me. We'll be previewing the Thursday night football game, of course, dive into the numbers, take a look at the trench report with the more specific of the numbers once that comes out. We also will get into those stories about NFL guys being soft and Jerry Jones flipping off fans and being fined for it. I'll get Cricket's opinion on it. But yeah, good show. Good show. Smash the like button, share this out there, repost, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 25,000 by the end of the month, huh? Think we can do it? 25,000 followers on Rumble. I think we can do it by the end of the month. Can't do it without your help, though. You got to share it out there. Let people know where they can find the most professional, on-time, non-clickbait sports show on the internet. How about that? What's up, always tired? I see you. My Megatron likes UTEP tonight. Ooh, oh yeah, we got college. Do we have college football tonight? Oh, interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. But anyways, you guys have a good rest of your Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Until then, good luck, good gambling, and game on.